I see.
And you know, part of your power is that you work so practically in the real world. When children come to you and say, what can we do for our community? What are some of the practical suggestions you give them?
And children do come and say, and they also come now, I'm glad to say, to sessions of the United Nations that start with the voices of children that are very compelling. I come back to Eleanor Roosevelt. If human rights are to matter at all, they must matter in small places close to home, so small that you cannot find them on any maps of the world. And the way she said that would happen is it would take concerted citizen action. And that's why I'm very encouraged by the number of small organizations linking with other small organizations and becoming a sort of people power worldwide. You were talking about combating poverty. On the 17th of October, the Day Against Poverty, the organizations, including Oxfam, I'm honorary president of Oxfam, so I know this through Oxfam, the global call for action against poverty has been asking people to stand up against poverty on 24 hours a year. The first time 23 million people registered that they were part of this stand up against poverty, and then it was 43 million. Last time it was 161 million people. And this is part of the connectedness that Your Holiness, that you've been speaking about. But it's also, I think it's also part of something that human rights people should have emphasized more. Article 1 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights actually captures what human rights should mean, but very often doesn't. It says, all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. And when I was listening to Your Holiness, you seem to be really emphasizing that dignity, the confidence of the poorest, the dignity of self. And I think we've talked too much about human rights in a rhetorical way and not actually talked about the reality of poverty where poor parents don't have medicine for a dying child. And then we look at the numbers. About 10 million children under 5 die every year of what we could prevent. Hunger, diarrhea, preventable disease, because they're not immunized. That would help greatly. So, I also believe in this, not we and they, but a one that we have to work on. And for me, that dignity is a very important component. I would love to hear your views, but we must listen to the other questions. But I would love to hear you speak about dignity and rights, and what dignity adds to the idea of human rights.
Dignity, sir. Yes, that's right, right. 그래서 저게 믿는 것 같아. 그 dignity. I think right based on dignity. I usually look this way. We human beings, by nature, we have this sort of, by innate, firstly, as a living being, we have the experience of pains and pleasure. On that, by innate desire, achieve happiness, and desire to overcome suffering. That's there. So that is the basis of our right. Not based on work or position or richness or like that. No. Because by nature, everyone is a want happy life and do not want suffering. So that's the basis of our right. So that also, I think, from my viewpoint, that also, as a human being, the dignity is that.
So this is where the dignity of the person lies.
Then also, from that viewpoint, then other species of mammals also, it's the same sort of experience. And through that way, I think same right. But then compare with human being, oh, I think we should have more dignity. I don't know. I
think you put it very well.
Your Holiness, one question from the audience, and I fear this may be the last question. What do you think about non-Tibetans visiting occupied Tibet? Is there an ethical dilemma?
그렇죠. Visit?
Yes.
Oh, most welcome. It's really necessary now. Really necessary. You know, now last, since the 79, actually my brother had a long meeting with late Deng Xiaoping. Since then, the sort of the contact or dialogue which is started. Then, and sometime in mid-90s, it ceased. Then again renewed since 2002. And then altogether, 8 rounds talk took place, but no result. Why? The main thing is the Chinese government is simply not admit there is problem. Tibetans are very happy. Only problem is just handful people from outside, and particularly Dalai Lama. Now they say Dalai Lama almost like a demon. So okay, no problem. I think it is quite okay. Demon always talking compassion. It's a nice demon. So the other day in San Francisco, I met my American friend. He asked me, why is the Chinese so afraid to Chinese government? So afraid. You? Why? He asked me. Then I just responded, because of my home. So the point is, since the Chinese government never admit, never acknowledge, there is problem. So now I think the world community has the responsibility to show world there is a problem. If there is no problem, as Chinese government say, the people, majority of the Tibetan people are very happy, then our information become wrong, then according these wrong information, we carrying this struggle, then we must apologize to the Chinese government. Really. If the people, majority of the people, are really unhappy and a lot of resentment there, then Chinese government, since they came to Tibet not as a colonialist, but rather liberator. So liberator must act as a liberator.